Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you for tuning in. And I'm blessed and happy to be back with you. We've been out of the studio on our little hiatus for the last few weeks, but feeling good. And we have a wonderful show planned for you today. Man, from the hair spins, from the carousel wheel of trades to things going on in the playoffs, it's about to get juicy. But without further ado, let me introduce my co-host, Mr. Steven Rubain. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me on today. God, has it been almost a month? It feels like it's been like a year. There's been so much going on.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. I really wanted to tap in with everybody and give an update and see what people felt. But, I was on a little trip, just got back and feeling better, feeling recharged.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes you got to have those trips just to kind of get back in there.
Yes, sir.
Feel strong and get into some football draft.
And if we have anything going on with the sound, we have AT&T fiber optics going on here, and it's gonna get better. But if you have any problems, hey, just shout it out and let us know. You know, it's a work in progress. We got it moving on, but let's get into the sports, Steve. Where you want to start? Where you want to go first?
Let's talk about little NBA playoffs. Let's start with NBA playoffs, shall we?
NBA.
NBA.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. And the NBA, a couple of years ago, they came up with this brilliant idea. And I like the NBA because they take chances. Unlike other sports, they kind of like to stick with the old guard and don't want to change things up. The NBA said, let's kind of mix it up and have a play-in game where now instead of just having the top 8 teams in each division getting in, and then towards the end of the year, teams are just kind of like laying off. People aren't really trying hard. You're resting players. Now you have it where the 7th and 8th seeds have to play in to get in against the 9th and 10th seeds. So you have it where the 7th seed plays the 10th seed, 8th seed plays the 9th seed. Whoever wins those games get in, but then the next seed has to play again in order to get that 8th seed. So people were like, I don't know if that's going to work. That's kind of
more interesting to me.
A little more interesting, but people are so used to the old guard, just do it the old way. The playing games were brilliant. I mean, this year you had exciting playing games. Down to the wire, people were playing hard. You had competition. So I give the NBA credit. The playing is here to stay. I thought it was a great job. And so.
Well, I'm one of those people, I hate to rush things, Steve, but who do you think is the best in the East and the West? Who do you think is going to make it to the end? Give an honest prediction, even if you be wrong or whatever, but just give an honest prediction who you think is going to make it.
Well, first of all, I'm never wrong. Let's get that straight. But that being said, right now, the number 1 seed Milwaukee in the East is in trouble. They're down 3-1, and their star player, Giannis, is not sure if he's going to be able to play or not in this Game 5. Ooh. So we got to wait and see what's going to happen with them. So the East is wide open. We might be looking at an upset team out of the East. So if I had to pick right now, I don't know. I don't really trust Boston either. I'm not sure. I might have to go with either a 3 seed or a 4 seed.
Hey, you got to make up your mind, Mr. Right.
Can I wait for 1 week?
Oh, wait a week? Nah. It's better now. I mean, it's pretty easy for you because
I'm gonna go with the Sixers.
The Sixers?
I'm gonna take the Sixers out of the East.
All right.
Out of the West, I was starting to lean towards the Lakers, but then the Lakers got blew out tonight by the Grizzlies, and so the series will be a little bit harder than I thought it'd be. So I don't know who I like out of the West. The West is wide open. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll go with Denver just because they're playing the best right now. But,
okay.
So I'm gonna look at a Philadelphia-Denver finals.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
I was checking it out, and I watched a couple games. I haven't really been into it the way I used to be into it because just how basketball's been for me.
Right.
My Lakers have been overtaken by LeBron James. I know most of the fans love him.
You mean King James?
Hey.
2020 James? Is that what you're talking about?
Hey, however you want to put it. Hey, it is what it is. He's the man right now. But I'm still gonna go with the Warriors coming out. I'm gonna go with the Warriors to pull it out. I'm gonna go with the Splash Brothers to get their thing together in the right time and get their right mind together and take it out. And you want the 76ers?
Yeah, I like the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna say the Knicks, the Knicks and the Warriors.
Okay. Wow, that's a big one. That's an upset. Knicks and Warriors. That would truly be an upset. But
that'll be something for the Knicks fans to get into.
Yeah,
the Warrior fans to strive for, because the Splash Brothers is supposed to be the team of all teams.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about for this year, because of course they didn't shine bright like they normally do from season to season, but that's supposed to be the Millennium team,
Yeah. Let me just a little side segue, because since we are in LA, let's talk about a tale of two LAs. The Clippers and the Lakers.
Oh my goodness.
Now, going into the season, people thought this was going to be the year that the Clippers were finally going to overtake the Lakers as LA's team. I mean, the Clippers have owned the Lakers in the regular season the last 6-7 years. I think it's some crazy record, like 26-3. Some crazy record. They've dominated.
Yes, sir.
This year, the Clippers went in with looked like the deepest team in the NBA, the team that's going to take over and be a legitimate Western Conference finalist, if not NBA finalist.
Hey, it is what it is. They ran well, but they failed.
How did they lose both their number one and number two guys to injuries in the playoffs?
That's what happens. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about the playoffs. That excitement, being on that big TV. You're on TV all year long, but when it's the playoffs, it's playoff atmosphere basketball. It's something. Even going to the game, you can feel it in the air.
I just think it's I didn't want to believe in the Clipper curse, but I'm starting to think they really do have a curse in that franchise. I don't know.
Hey,
whatever it is, they could just not get the job done in the playoffs. It's just wow.
It's been a lot of rumors about them, a lot. But hey,
it is what it is. They need to clean house. I think they need to go ahead and they tried the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard experiment. It didn't work. Need time to move on. So I just wanted to go segue on that since we are here in LA. But the Lakers, this is boom or bust. I mean, Anthony Davis got to step it up. I mean, it's his team now. He got to be the one to step it up and play big time. So that's all I got to say on that. So going ahead, finishing up with the NBA, let's get into a little baseball. I know we don't talk baseball at all, but I'm just going to take a minute to talk about baseball, just a minute, because baseball has fallen that far pretty much. But there are two things that have happened this year that's been kind of interesting. Number one, they started this new thing this year with the pitch count. The games they felt were just taking too long.
How do you like that pitch count?
I like it, but I think they got to have a little more flexibility with it. Okay, they have a certain amount of time. Give them a little extra second. It's kind of one of the rules that you kind of be flexible with. The guy's already in his pitching motion. Don't call a foul. He was already started. It's one of those, like in the NBA. If the guy's kind of already across the line, don't call the 8-second call. It's that little thing. But I do like. I mean, this makes the game shorter. The game now is a good pace, and so let's see how it goes come summertime. That's when we really started to see it was going to be significant.
I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching us on our new Facebook page. Thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
And if you have any issues, whatever, come on over to YouTube. Sign up. Be a subscriber. Please like, subscribe, and share. Holler at us in the comments. We will holler back. We also have our Instagram that's going up, and our TikTok. that'll be launching. And we will be interactive on it, both of us. You can ask us either one of those questions, and we will respond. Just hit us up.
We have a whole lot to say, but before I end up on baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays have come off and started one of the great starts to the baseball season. They won their first 13 games. They won their first 14 at home. Both, well, the first one tied a Major League Baseball record. The 14 wins at home is a new baseball record. Great start to the season, 20-5 now. But baseball is a long season. Man, when I say a long season, I don't even get involved in baseball until after the All-Star break. So
it's
let's
one
see
of
where
those
they
things.
are. Yeah,
You gotta let it warm up.
exactly. 162 games. Oof. So they're off to a good start, but let's see where they are come August, September. So that's about it for baseball. Like I said, we can't talk about baseball and get into the All-Star.
Yeah, baseball just it just started. We want to give a shout out to the college ladies that won.
Yeah, we give them a shout out. I don't want to get too in depth on that whole. I mean, it blew up as a whole big deal about the Angel Reese thing. Was she taunting? The whole.
I don't even want to. Let's not even go into that
thing. But let's get in.
Congratulations to both teams for making it, and congratulations to the winner. Salute to you, young lady. You did your thing.
Yeah. Main thing is that it's one of the highest rated women's basketball games of all time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the women's game is really blowing up, which is great. I mean, I'm all for anything that expands on our sports knowledge, our sports love. So I'm happy for that, and I'm looking forward to next year because there's going to be the rematch.
Oh yeah. And let's give a shout out to our YouTube subscribers. I see we got the Bang Bang Niner gang already in here. Don't worry, we about to get to football.
We're gonna get to you.
Well, it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. Shout out to Darnell. Thank you, sir, for your support. He said Clippers and Raiders are cursed for many years and many more to come.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Well, the Raiders just made dumb decisions. I won't blame the Clippers for making dumb decisions. The Clippers are things they can't stay healthy. I mean,
just can't get right.
Remember when they had Chris Paul and they had Blake Griffin in their prime and they were like Lob City.
Oh yeah,
and everybody just knew that team was going to be a championship team, and they just could not stay healthy at the right time. They couldn't get everybody on the court. It just something about that franchise.
Well, Clipper fans need to be happy that their team looked good from time to time because for a while there, the team never just looked good.
Oh, it was a Donald Sterling curse. I mean, Donald Sterling cursed that whole franchise for many years, and so
it was fun. I actually used to get floor seats to Clipper games.
Yeah,
that's how easy it was.
I got a great story about the Clippers. There was one time I was taking my girlfriend at the time. We were like, nothing to do. I'll never forget. It was Portland versus the Clippers. This is back in the 90s, like 96, 90. This was, I can tell you exactly, it was Rasheed Wallace's rookie year. And I was taking her there, and it's like games were already started 15 minutes before the game. So I'm going there, standing in line to buy the tickets at the will call, and this guy's like, hey, you guys look like a nice couple. We have two extra tickets. Would you guys want them? And I was like, first thing you thought is it's just a serious ticket, probably like a fake ticket, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, sure. Thank you. I'll be glad to take the tickets. And so he says, yeah, two of our people didn't show up. So I looked at the tickets and I said, wow, these tickets are real close to the floor. I get inside, right there, center court, second row behind, literally I was 4 or 5 seats over from, I could really reach over and touch Rasheed Wallace. I was so close.
Wow.
Free ticket. He was like, they had extra tickets and like, here, you want them?
That's how it was.
And that was how it was in the 90s. That was back at the old LA Sports Arena.
Sure, I sat on the floor.
Yes.
Right there. The ball rolled over to me. I kicked it back on the floor.
Yeah.
It was funny how the team back then, they didn't even gel together. You could see it was like private collections of teams. It was like 5 people on the court. These 2 people are friends. This person don't know nobody on the team, and these 2 people play together. So whenever this person get the ball, he only passes it to this person, and then they only pass it to somebody else when they can't do anything else.
Well, that franchise was just so bad. I mean, it was people who either they wanted to get a paycheck, so like, hey, I can still stay in the league, so we got to play somewhere. Might as well play for the Clippers. And it was just nothing there. They just for so long. I mean, it was just. Those are memories. But I mean, I want to see the Clippers do well. I would love to see them make a championship run. So, but getting back, we're going to get into the XFL playoffs, and I know
XFL.
I'll just give it a real quick. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but because the XFL is right now starting its playoffs. The USFL just started. I think it's next week 3.
I've been trying to get into it. Have you really got into it?
I've actually gotten into it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've actually sat through and watched entire games, and actually every week look out for a couple games to watch.
Well, you said that. Now, let me point something out to you. There was something people were talking about, some controversial call that really made them upset about the XFL. Do you know what that was all about?
Well, there's been several. You have to elaborate which particular one, because there's been a couple of them. But the biggest thing about the XFL, and I'm gonna say the difference between the two, the XFL decided to go about having each of their home teams have their play at their home stadium, having a home stadium for each team. Whereas the USFL last year only had one place they played. This year they have 4.
Okay.
It's a huge difference attendance-wise, XFL, as far as the crowd, the enthusiasm. It makes a big difference when you watch a football. You don't realize in the NFL how much the crowd really makes a difference in the excitement in watching the game. When you're watching the game and it's a full crowd and they're pumped up,
okay,
it means a lot. When you're watching the game and there's only your uncle, 2 friends, and a couple of relatives at the game,
and everybody waving like, I know him.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a hard time to watch a game when there's just dead silence and there's nothing, no real enthusiasm. So the USFL needs to change it up as far as figuring out what to do is with the crowd. Okay. Because the XFL has some great DC, Seattle, great attendance. Crowds really into it, almost like a soccer field.
So then who do you think has the more pull with the NFL? USFL or XFL? Or are they both the same?
They're about the same right now. I would say both the same. If any, really down the line, the real smart thing to do would be for those two to merge. You could have the XFL and the USFL merge into one league.
I'm glad you said that.
And that would be the smart deal. Have a good, legitimate 18 teams.
Then you
can really do something that can compete. You're not going to beat the NFL. I mean, NFL is a monopoly.
Never.
But you can establish your own basis to have a solid league. Sometimes it's good to have a solid league.
And then you might get more teams added because of it.
Exactly. So that's where I'm looking at down the road. I think if they can both stick around, that'll be like the old NFL AFL merger.
Yep.
Have a good merger, have a strong product, and then you can go from there. So, but that's what I wanted to get into this weekend. Just real quick, we got the Battle of Texas, Arlington versus Houston, and then we got Seattle versus DC. And so of course, I'm a DC Defenders.
Yeah, get them.
DC Defenders, and so I'm going to DC all the way. And speaking of DC, since we did tie into this, I can finally hold this hat up with pride. Now, as those who don't know, I have long been a Washington Commanders critic, long been a critic of Daniel Snyder, the worst owner to ever own an NFL team, someone who has just been a cancer. I mean, he took what was once a proud organization and turned it into a laughingstock, killed off the fan base. I mean, half of our fan base now are Ravens fans. People just saying, I'd rather just go up the road to Baltimore. At least there I know they care about the fan base. So finally, it looks like we might get the team sold. I'm not quite putting the hat on yet because until he signs the papers, I don't trust the dude. But apparently we have a team led by Josh Harris, the owner of the 76ers, with Magic Johnson on board. So that got me excited seeing Magic on. They put a $6.1 billion bid, and there's been an agreement in principle. Right now, of course, people who don't know, 24 of the 32 owners must approve the sale. So that's what they're waiting for right now. But they're saying hopefully by June 1st, the deal can go through and we can all move on and finally be proud to be Commanders fans again. So that's my Commanders rant. I'll just leave it at that. Thank God. Hopefully this is going to go through and we can move on. And I can really cheer on my Commanders for the first time in many years. About time. I mean, it's been years since I really had my heart into the Commanders. And so years. I mean, you got to go back to probably close to 20 years. This is the last time I really went into a season.
I remember going places with you and you have your little jersey on. Yeah. Being proud when you guys are Redskins. Yeah. The Redskins.
Yeah. I mean, when they took the Redskins away, that was like the final straw. I mean, but even before then, I used to be a truly passionate Redskins fan. I haven't been that in like 20 years where I really truly went to a season with the hope of, okay, this year we can actually compete for a Super Bowl.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, when you go into the season and you already know your team's not going nowhere, that just kills your heart. So, yeah, so that's, I guess, should we just get right into the draft? Should we just get we're going to talk about some quarterbacks first.
Before the draft, let's get into this QB news because this QB stuff, it's something else, man. It's something else. It's a carousel going on. And, you know, the main thing that everybody's been waiting for, there's been a new Aaron Rodgers jersey issued.
Not me.
He's still in green, though. He's still in green.
I've been waiting for it. I think it's a mistake. I've been saying since day one, the Jets, let's just put it like this. There's two teams in New York playing the same stadium, the Jets and the Giants.
Right.
There's a reason why the Giants have, 5 Super Bowl appearances, 4 Super Bowl.
That's why they call it Giant Stadium.
Yes.
And they both play there, but they still call it the Giant Stadium.
Yeah. And there's a reason why the Jets haven't been to Super Bowl in 55 years, 54 years.
Wow. Put them on blast, Steve.
Why are you going to trade pretty much your future for a 39-year-old guy who's already come on and said, I'm 90% retired? Now, if you come out and openly say you're 90% retired, mentally you're 90% retired. I mean, you can sit here and put whatever you want to on it, but I mean, you're already talking that way.
The funny part about it is, and this is the part that I don't think people understand, the Jets have done this. This is not the first time they've done this. No. They did this with Brett Favre.
Yes.
They went out and they did the same thing they just did and acquired Brett Favre toward the end. But Brett Favre kind of shined a little bit.
But the difference, as I'm saying, the difference was that Brett Favre still had the passion. Brett Favre was pushed out of Green Bay.
By Aaron Rodgers.
He was pushed out. It was like
either he goes
or I go.
There you have it.
This case here, this was a case of Aaron Rodgers was pushed out. Aaron Rodgers quit on the Packers, and they were like, "Okay, well, you're gonna quit on us. We'll just give Love a chance." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna hold you guys hostage and give them what I want." And then we've been going through this hostage situation for the last 3 months, 4 months.
But the Packers put themselves through this hostage situation.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked like he wanted to play football in the last 3 years.
3 years.
And what would make you go ahead and give this man a max contract when he hasn't even looked like he had the passion to play football? He wanted to go be the host of Jeopardy and he was okay being the host of Jeopardy.
He would have been okay with it. If they would have given it to him, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. So, I mean, it's crazy to me. But the Jets going to be Jets. And so the fan base is going to go crazy, and it's going to be another mediocre year for them.
And with all that being said, I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers look like he was happy in a long time, and he did look happy in that Jets press conference. Hey, call it like I see it. He looked happy.
They always look happy when they start off. How's he going to feel the first time he gets smashed in the mouth? That's going to be the question.
Well, let's see if he goes there and he actually plays. Are we going to get the Aaron Rodgers that's putting his energy into the team, or are we going to get the Aaron Rodgers that when the play doesn't work right, he just kind of sulks and walks off the field?
Well, let me ask you the Stephen A. debate today, because they had a huge debate on this show today. Because Stephen A. swears up and down that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the AFC East.
Well, I was I'm not going to say I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan anymore. I'm just going to say I'm disappointed in how he's made himself look. And I'm big on any player that plays at the level that he's played, like Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Brown, for a couple names to throw out there, and then you go and you make yourself look like a clown. I don't like that. Right. When you're a Hall of Fame caliber player, I feel as you should act accordingly.
Okay, I can live with that. But I'm more concerned with his heart for the game. I mean, you could be a clown if your heart's still there and you're trying hard. Do you think Aaron Rodgers right now makes the Jets the best team in the AFC East? Yes or no?
I think he makes them a better team.
Well, okay.
If he plays.
If he plays. Are they the best team? Because The only way this trade makes any sense at all is if it's championship or bust. This is like the Matthew Stafford trade. If you don't get a championship, then this is the worst trade.
Well, for the Jets, I believe it's a good trade. You know why? Because it'll put butts in the seat again, which will bring revenue back to the Jets. Because you can't tell me the Jets has been abundant with their.
The Jets always sell out. There's never been a Jets fans are like Raiders. They're nuts. There's something about that fan base is always. They never had an issue as far as putting butts in the seats. Which is more reason why it makes no sense to me. Because they have a passionate fan base that's going to stick with them no matter what. And so why would you go ahead and throw your future away when the future was starting to look somewhat decent? Okay, Zach Wilson, did he have a great season last year?
I don't think they gave those quarterbacks time. They didn't give them, but that goes to why we're talking about QB news. That goes to a lot of these franchises out here. They get these brand new quarterbacks. They don't mentor them right, and they don't get the appropriate chance to hone their skills behind their line.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers sat for three straight seasons. He sat on the bench behind Brett Favre before he even really got a chance to really go on the field and do his thing.
Right.
3 years.
Right.
This guy Zach Wilson, as a rookie, go out there and do your thing. And then the Jets fan base, when it doesn't look great, you suck. I mean, do people not remember that Peyton Manning was 1-15 his first season? Troy Aikman was 1-15 his first season?
I say that all the time.
This guy almost had the Jets in the playoffs. I mean, how ridiculous of a fan base are you when the Jets literally was like a game away from making the playoffs last year, and you guys are going so crazy that you have to go in there and want this guy. Like he's the worst quarterback in the league. He's horrible.
It should be growing pains when you're a brand new quarterback, and you should stick with him and let him get molded to the offense.
Get a guy. You have a young team. Let this guy go out there and do his thing. Now you're going to set him back because now you're told to destroy his confidence. Like I said, the Jets. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what's going on with this Aaron Rodgers thing, but staying on the same level, moving right along. And we know we got the Bang Bang Niner game. What's up, Darnell? He said, why did Washington change their name?
Okay, you want the honest reason why? The honest reason why was because my man, Daniel Snyder, who I hate with a passion, he pissed off the other, or in a NFL team, owners have certain sponsors who are, pretty much put all the money up, to make the team. So, NFL, we had a big sponsor with the Redskins who Snyder pissed off so badly, they decided they were going to start a campaign to change the Redskin name in order to force him to get out, thinking that he would just get rid of the team rather than change the name. Wow. He's so much of a lowlife. He changed because this man said at one time, he said, "I will never ever change the Redskin name." He's so much of a lowlife. He's like, okay, well, I'll change the name, but I'm going to change it on my terms. So I'm going to let my wife decide the name of the team.
That's how y'all became the Commanders?
Yeah. So they had a contest where they let the fans supposedly choose who the name of the team is. Commanders came in like 14th out of 25, 30 names, and they chose Commanders.
Wow.
14th.
Because his wife said so.
The wife said so. The wife liked the name. She thought, hey, the military name, that kind of go over well with DC, so let's go change the Commanders.
Now, I wonder if when under new management, will they fix that?
They got to. I mean, they got to.
I don't know.
They may not bring the Redskin name back.
A lot of people put a lot of money into those jerseys.
Well, the NFL is that. NFL needs to follow the NBA. Do the right thing.
And I'm telling you, them W jerseys look pretty nice, even if you just left with this Washington.
Yeah, but how many people have you seen wearing anything Washington Commanders?
Well, I go to the draft. I saw a lot of people.
You saw a lot of people at the draft wearing the Commanders?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about on the street, just in general.
Well, we in LA.
Right, but I'm just saying, just in general, period, nobody's buying Commander stuff.
All we see is Rams and
Raiders, yeah. So
and now Chargers.
But like I said, I tried to go on and buy a Commander's cap, and the guy's like, "We don't sell that."
Hey, well, you should see what I go through trying to buy stuff out here.
Yeah, they had Jacksonville Jaguars caps. They didn't have a Commander's cap. Now, when did the Jaguars become more important than the Commanders? So yeah,
but that's debatable. That's debatable. But staying on QB news, Trey Lance looks like he might be moving. He might be moving to this draft coming up. It looks like the musical chairs are like right there for people to make these trades and things. The whole face of the NFL is changing.
Yeah,
it's changing. The whole thing is changing. Trey Lance to Minnesota, and Minnesota's quarterback to the 49ers. What do you think about that?
I think that'd be a horrible deal for the Niners.
It's only for 1 year because Brock Purdy doesn't look like he's going to play this year.
Don't matter. Look, if you're the Niners, stick to the program. You last year were committed to Trey Lance. He was going to be your guy. Okay, you got a freak injury. Injuries happen. Stick with him.
I think it'll be an upgrade for Minnesota if they were able to pull this off and get Trey Lance.
Why would you let this guy go? This guy has enormous talent. We don't know what the future holds for him. For somebody who we already know in Kirk Cousins, he's had 12 years to prove himself, and we know what he is. He's going to give you some stats
in garbage time. I don't know how does he do that.
I mean, he's a fantasy beast. I mean, get me wrong. If you're on fantasy and you need somebody to fill in, Kirk Cousins is great for your backup quarterback in fantasy. But as far as when a team is going to win championships, you're fool's gold if you think Kirk Cousins is going to give you a championship. So, so if I'm the Niners, stick to the program. You committed to Trey Lance, stick to him. Like you said, Purdy. Like I said, Purdy wasn't even in the equation last year anyway. So why would you now want to go with Purdy when the season started? Trey Lance was your guy.
Yeah.
So
what they need to be doing is getting that offensive line taken care of. And that's it. So quarterbacks stop getting hurt out there.
Right. Your defense is strong. I mean, your defense is beast.
Yeah, but that offensive line is suspect.
Offensive line suspect, but come on, the running game. They got 2 strong running backs. You got a nice, solid third running back, pretty much with Samuel. And you got the tight end, Kittle still. He still produces.
All those running backs over there are, I want to say, they have the skills to pay the bills because with that offensive line, the way they let people get through and hurt quarterbacks, it's a wonder how those running backs get all those yards.
I agree with you, but I still say you got to stick with Trey Lance. I'm not throwing away a young talent just because he got one little injury when he hasn't had a chance to even prove whether or not he's good or not.
Well, they already got Sam Darnold.
Oh, no. Anyway. Like I said, let's not die. Let's talk about good quarterbacks.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts. Now, everybody knows I'm far from an Eagles fan. I mean,
you sure?
I'm as
because you talk a lot about Jalen Hurts.
Listen to me.
You sure?
Jalen Hurts is almost making me want. Jalen Hurts is like Tom Brady 10 years ago. I used to hate Tom Brady with a passion. But when you're a winner, you can take somebody who doesn't even like you and make you like them because of winning.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts is such a winner that he's making me almost want to be an Eagles fan. If not for the fact that the Commanders are getting sold and hopefully I can go back to really being a Commanders fan again, I almost want to be an Eagles fan. This guy, he just got his new contract extension. He comes out, he doesn't come out and starts bragging about how much money he got, blah, blah, blah. He comes out and says, money is nice, but championships is more important. I said, what? Did that just come out of a new school quarterback? Money is nice, but championships are more important?
Did he offer some of his money to get some more players?
Yeah, he took money. Yeah, because he said, I could have got more money, but I'd rather take less money and let that money go to getting better players. So he didn't go for all the big guaranteed money that he could have gotten with Deshaun Watson.
Hey.
He said, I'll take less of that, but let me get some more players.
Hey, that's not an Aaron Rodgers thing.
Well, let's talk about this because
Aaron Rodgers would have gave him a phone call like, hey, look, homie, don't be doing stuff like that. You may try to make people look bad. You better get your money because this is a business.
Let's look at this. So I pulled up top 10 quarterbacks now, money wise, for the next 3 years, who got contracts now, who will make for the next 3 years.
Who's getting their money, Steve?
Well, you already know who number one is. Aaron freaking Rodgers, who next 3 years is guaranteed $150 million.
Number one.
Number two, Deshaun Watson, guaranteed $138 million.
Ain't done a thing yet.
Number three, a surprise here, Dak Prescott.
What the heck?
Exactly. $126 million guaranteed. Number four, Matthew Stafford. And when I told you it was a bum contract, and now it's looking more and more bummish. $120 million guaranteed for the next 3 years. Then let's keep going down.
He got a Super Bowl, Steve. He got a Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, whatever.
He got a Super Bowl, Steve.
Russell Wilson. Then we're going to go Daniel Jones now with his new contract. Kyler Murray with his extension. Number 8, Jalen Hurts. Who have I not mentioned yet? What quarterback have I not mentioned at this point?
Who is it, Steve? Let us know.
Let's go. Number 9, Josh Allen. Number 10,
Patrick
Mahomes.
That's crazy.
This guy has 3 Super Bowls in the last 4 or 5 years. 2 Super Bowl rings.
Crazy.
And he right now is 10th among quarterbacks in salary.
That's crazy.
Now, does not tell you, this is somebody, you know how much Patrick Mahomes is guaranteed for the next 3 years? $63 million. Think of that.
Ooh,
Aaron Rodgers alone is going to be for close to $55 million next year.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes is going to guarantee $63 million the next 3 years.
He about to break the bank when he get paid next time.
But right now, instead of being greedy, and I'm going to get to Lamar Jackson in a second, he said, I'll take this lesser money to allow me to win a Super Bowl ring. And last year,
Super Bowls,
instead of sitting here and breaking the bank saying, well, Aaron Rodgers made $55 million, I should get $60 million. He said, okay, I'll take my little $15, $20 million and go ahead and take care of Travis Kelce. Go ahead and go ahead and give me a running back. Go ahead and give me some receivers. Go ahead and,
They need to get some receivers.
They need to get some receivers.
They got rid of Juju.
Right.
And he wasn't even really doing that anyway.
Right. They'll something? They're going to find a way. They're going to, in the draft, whatever, they're going to find some receivers. They're going to find some talent because they know with him, he's going to get them money.
if they let DeAndre Hopkins go over there, ooh, my goodness.
That's going to be a beautiful thing. But yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes and I guess Jalen Hurts has come from the same school. I'm going to let my talent, let my winning speak for itself.
And I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes. You know that already.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Patrick Mahomes, just like I was a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I'm on QBs. Aaron Rodgers should have way more Super Bowls than what he has. And
was it in the NFC? Time out. He was in the NFC all the years that Brady was dominating. He was in the NFC.
He played the back fiddle.
He played the back fiddle. Let's keep in mind, in the same time that he was quarterback, you had Eli Manning win 2 Super Bowl rings.
Wow.
You had, who else? Seattle, Russell Wilson win some Super Bowls. I mean,
Russell Wilson, the person that, is he going to be Russell Wilson this year or is he done?
New coach.
Is he done?
I don't know. I'm going to give the new coach.
What does the coach have to do with this man getting the ball to a person?
Everything. It means everything. If you have a bad coach who don't know how to scheme, don't know how to make plays, it means everything.
Okay, I don't get it. And maybe you people will get it. Let me open these phone lines too.
Yeah,
if you want to holler at us, call us at 818-396-5080. The phone lines are now open. If you have any questions, anything you want to say, holler at us. We holler back. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hey, Steve, the NFL draft is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I can remember my high school friend Gary. We used to. This is back in the day.
Right.
They would have the NFL draft on a Friday daytime on a school day.
All right.
So we'd go to school, meet up, and then skip school to go to my friend's house and watch the NFL draft. So the draft would come on around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, in the morning, and go on. They used to do pretty much almost the whole draft within a day.
Right.
So you know how much times have changed. It was in a little ballroom in New York City. All the teams would have like a little small table. So you have one table for each team. And it was no big deal. Maybe like 5 players would be there. And it was just like, the first pick of the draft is Traven. Second pick of the draft is, I mean, it was no fanfare. It was just kind of just whatever. It was on ESPN. Now the draft is a 3-day event. Hundreds of thousands of people. You went to it last year, so you know.
Oh, man. The next time I go, I will not go unless I have VIP experience.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. So you got to have VIP for it. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm seeing them on the masses and be out there.
But they do the VIP experience a little different now. I need them to go back to the old style where you pay the pretty penny and you get to rub elbows with the with the talent.
And unfortunately now, I guess they've kind of wised up to it now, and they realize we maybe need to not give them that much VIP experience. It's all about money. You know how it is. Everything in the NFL is about money.
Everything's about money, but
the NFL now, for those who aren't familiar with how the draft works, the NFL now does it where on Thursday you only have the first round, so the whole night is like a whole big fanfare, and you have all the huge crowd.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Everybody's excited. Everybody's pumped up.
You know what's really beautiful about it?
What's that?
Carolina got the #1 pick.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Hold that thought. I know you're excited.
Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. You know, #1 pick.
Jesus Christ.
#1 stunner. There we go.
It's going to be the #1 disappointment, but I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, here we go.
But anyway.
I feel the hate coming from this area right here.
I've been good. I've been good all day as far as not spreading any hate, but it's coming. So anyway, so I was saying, though, Thursday's the first round. Friday, they do rounds 2 and 3.
Right.
The crowd's not quite as pumped up. You still got a big crowd, but you don't have that huge crowd that you have on day 1. Mm-hmm. And then on Saturday, it's an all-day event where there's pretty much no crowd, basically, and then they're just naming off names. So it's like bang, 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 bang. But you go through rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this year, for whatever reason, people have a lot of excitement towards the quarterbacks. So I'm going to let you take over because I know you've been dying to get into this. The Carolina Panthers made a move. And we talked about it before we went on our hiatus. We talked about this move, and do we think it's a good move? Do we think Carolina is going to benefit from it? And Packard made a good point. All you ask for your organization is to do something. You want them to show that they are committed to trying to win.
Right.
And so the Panthers, by making this move, they at least tell
not this move. The Panthers, for the first time in Panther history, we've made long strides, big moves, big steps, stumping with the big dogs. We've went out there and picked up the wide receiver core that's supposed to be the brand new wide receiver core. I would love for us to go after somebody like a Hopkins, a big name, somebody who demands a double team to give other people a chance at the ball. You know, we went back out there and got Demir Bird. When we got Thielen from the from Minnesota. But the Panthers, man, with the running back moves, I wish we would have kept the running back we had from last year because he was a bruiser. And, you know, our thing at Carolina is keep pounding. And that's the type of runner he was, you know. Sanders, hey, we'll see because he's gonna have to run in Carolina. Yeah. He's gonna have to run in Carolina, but Chuba Hubbard, he's been looking good. He's been looking good. So I just like the things that Carolina has never really made a big splash in the market when it comes to doing anything big, making big trades. And it looks like this new owner and that's on his head now. He's finally come to grips with how a team should be ran. He went out there and he put proper coaches that understand the game, know the game, and they can talk to each other and get things right to where they can mentor a brand new quarterback, which Cam Newton, love him. I love him to death, but he never got mentored right. I don't think Ron was the right person to mentor him. I think he kind of let a young kid get in there and just run wild. Cam Newton, as you saw that 1 year that he had where he was excellent, he never had that again. Never had that again. And somebody mentored him right.
Who mentored him?
Ron was supposed to mentor him, but that 1 year that he did good, what I read was Kurt Warner came in there and worked on his accuracy in the offseason. I don't know how true that is though, that's what I heard. Did you heard something about it too? I heard that too.
Championship quarterback.
And that season, nobody thought to mentor this person. You need to get back up under Kurt Warner and go through your progressions. Go through it with him. Line it up again. You did good that season. Whenever you do good, go back to what you did to put yourself in that mind place. Right. I thought Cam should have kept the dab going because that's when he had his swag, he had his thing going. But off Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers have the number 1 draft pick. And I'm going to come out and say, I want a CJ Stroud, but I don't care if we get Bryce or CJ. I believe CJ is good to go immediately. I believe Bryce needs a year or two to get up under his belt, but accuracy is what I'm looking for. Athleticism, we had Cam Newton, and everybody can see Cam Newton has more athleticism than some running backs and wide receivers out there. But guess what? We need an actual, factual QB that can sit back there and drop dimes, drop bullets, put them in the end zone, put it on people's numbers. I want to hold wide receivers and running backs accountable. I don't want to see overthrows all the time. I don't want to see underthrows. So Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation, pick number 1. Let's get it.
All right, so the $1 million question then, because the Panthers say the pick is in. Who do you think they're taking?
Well, I believe they dropped the ball on that one and already said we was getting CJ Stroud when we heard it on the camera. And I believe all this back shuffling and all these Levis, you heard Levis' stock went up in the draft now. He went from like number way down to now he's supposed to be top 10.
And let me get into that because this is something that bothers me about this Stroud situation. Now, I don't know people who are familiar, but what they do when they do the draft combines and stuff like that, they have all the quarterbacks in what's called the S2 test.
Right.
And basically it's an IQ test. It's a test to determine their intelligence level as far as being able to make quick decisions, how would they handle situations, how's their brain process in a quick amount of time. I think that test, I'm not going to use the word racist test. I'm not going to say it's a racist test, but I'm going to say that it's a test that doesn't necessarily give a true, accurate portrayal of how someone will play on the field.
Now, why would you even come up with thinking that it's a biased test?
Well, I'm saying because right now, CJ Stroud's stock has dropped dramatically because supposedly, he tested the worst on this S2 test, whereas Will Levis tested second behind Bryce Young. So that's why I allow the talk now about why Will Levis has moved up to number 2 and why CJ Stroud's stock has gone down. It's only because of this S2 test. And someone leaked out the scores. So this is something that seems to happen every year where these scores are supposed to be kept confidential, but somehow they always manage to get leaked out.
It sounds like a bunch of BS to me. It sounds like somebody that wants CJ Stroud and they want his stock to drop.
Yes. And that being said, CJ Stroud came out today and made a statement, said, I don't take tests, I play football. And I don't know if I would have come out and said it exactly in that realm, because I think that kind of also puts you in a bad light in just a sense that feeds more fuel to their fire. But he does have a point in the sense of, and I'm gonna go back to as a very, very young kid, remembering, this might be before your time, Doug Williams. I don't know if you remember Doug Williams.
Doug? No.
Yeah.
Doug Williams. Well, QB.
Yes, QB for Now, Doug Williams was drafted by Tampa Bay, and everybody remember Tampa Bay had just been in the league for a couple of years, and they had Steve Spurrier was their first quarterback, and so they went out and drafted this guy from Grambling named Doug Williams, who was a star at Grambling, and this is back in 1970s. Let's call it what it is. It was racist Florida. People were coming out saying, "Oh, black quarterback, he's not smart enough. He can't handle the intricacies of football." Doug Williams in his second season led Tampa Bay to the NFC Championship game, where they lost, tight game to the Rams. I think it was like 9-3. He was pretty much, I think he had a bad knee injury. He was run out of Tampa and kind of floated around the league for several years, no real way to go, until a man called Joe the Messiah Gibbs picked him up. When Jay Schrader went down, Doug Williams had one of the great runs in NFL playoff history, leading the Washington Redskins to the Super Bowl, where he had the greatest second quarter in NFL history, 5 touchdown passes in one quarter, leading the Redskins to the 42-10 Super Bowl win. Back at the time when it was great to be a Redskin fan, life was good. Point I'm trying to make is that quarterbacking is about quarterbacking. It's not about so-called intelligence, but people talk about the quote-unquote intelligence test. They downplayed Doug Williams, said he wasn't smart enough to be a quarterback. He proved them wrong, leading to something that many other so-called smart quarterbacks never have done, and that's a Super Bowl ring. Let the man play, is what I'm trying to get at. CJ Stroud, if you got the talent, go out there and do your thing. Don't worry about what somebody tells you about some kind of stupid test. All right, that's it. That's all. That was my rant.
Do you have any predictions at picks? Who do you think we're picking number one?
I think you guys are gonna go Bryce Young because I think the CJ Stroud thing's gonna scare you guys. I think you guys are cowards, and so you're not gonna.
Oh, look at he's throwing shade.
I'm just calling it what it is. You guys put a whole lot of stock into getting this number one pick. Now, if you pick CJ Stroud and then he disappoints, there's going to be a lot of egg on people's faces and people's jobs are going to be fired. Who wants to go in there and put that? So at least if you pick Bryce Young, he's the one that people feel safe with. If he busts, nobody's going to sit there and say, you shouldn't have got. No. Bryce Young was the guy people thought you should get.
So, I believe we're getting CJ Stroud.
All right. So
I'm pretty sure that's what they told us already. But
all right, so I'll
be happy with either one, Young or Stroud.
Okay, so that's the pick there. Now, an interesting one, getting to the Commanders. There's a lot of rumors going around that the Commanders might try to get who might be the steal of the draft, Hendon Hooker. So you're like, who is Hendon Hooker?
Exactly.
Hendon Hooker was a quarterback that 8 weeks into the college football season was like the consensus all Heisman Trophy pick. I mean, he had a tremendous season for Tennessee last season.
Hendon Hooker.
He unfortunately got hurt. I think it was like week 9, week 10, a bad knee injury, out for the season. Of course, that being said, his stock dropped because of the injury. I don't like people's stock dropping because of an injury that can be healed and can go back out there. If he was a top pick before the injury, he should still be considered a top pick now. So
this is a football. This is a strenuous game.
Yes, it is.
Once anyone gets hurt, not just a football player, you are never the same. I don't care if you can come back and you can still do what you used to do. It's still not the same. Especially being a grown adult, it's a mental thing. Okay. So you're considered. It's like buying a car from the car lot, Steve. Mm-hmm. If you smash the car and it gets fixed, the car was still smashed.
That's true.
It can still have internal problems later on from that car smashing.
But that car can still look good and can still run pretty good, even though it's still smashed.
It can look good and it can run good, but you still might have problems from it being smashed later on.
Right. But that's something to know that you can look at for any situation. No, in the NFL, there's no prediction on ask RG3. There's no guarantees at all. Anything in the NFL, you one play away at any point.
Well, let me ask you this: so, if you go to buy a brand new car, do you want a car that has never had an accident, or do you want a car that has an accident? And you're buying a brand new car.
Well, if I'm buying a brand new car, then I'm going to go to a car that's never had an accident.
Okay,
but that's why his stock is falling.
The NFL is a business.
Yes.
So when a player is hurt, they want to bring his stock value down because you're not worth the same because you've already been hurt and injured.
Right, but that's more the reason why this could be a steal pick for the Commanders, because you might be getting somebody who might have been a top 5 pick, and you can get him at 16 only because of something that was out of his control. So it's not about the talent; it's about an injury that you can heal from as long as he has a proper what. Now the weird thing about, and this is I don't understand at all, his stock dropped because he's 25 years old.
Okay,
what does that mean?
That's just something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why that would make a difference.
That's just something to say.
If you're talented, I don't care if you're 25, 28, 30, let him play. I mean, why would I want to get somebody who's 22 who's not talented if I can get somebody who's 25 who is talented? So that was a weird one. They were like saying, well,
talent will take you a long way.
Exactly. So that's an interesting one to see how we're going to go. They said now, with the new ownership, they want to make a splash, bringing this guy. The guy's going to bring some energy. Right now we're going with quote unquote Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. So this could be a time to let this young guy get a year to get his needs situated, and redshirt him and come back a year. You
went all the way up there. I went from pick 1. You went from 1 to 16. What about pick 2, Steve? What about pick 2? What about pick 2?
Reason why is because
you're not even wearing your hat to be talking about the Commanders.
I told you this. Look, I'm showing the Commanders. That's the first step.
I mean that's the first step. But
the
people want to know about the first 10. You know what I'm saying? The first 10.
Okay, guys. Here's where it comes down to. And I've mentioned this before. The draft is a crapshoot. Once you get past the first pick,
7,
you just rolling the dice. You got all these mock drafts out there. There's like 18 million mock drafts. Not one of them are consistent with each other. Some people are saying that this Will Levis is going to go number 2 to the Texans. Some people said the Texans aren't.
Will Levis number 2.
Yes, that's the talk that's going around now. Some people are saying the Texans are not even going to go with a quarterback. They're going to go. I'm hearing now the guy, Jaden Carter.
If you listen to them, they said the Carolina was going to pick Levis 1 now.
Yeah.
If you listen to them.
And that's what I'm saying. It's all a crapshoot. We're going to sit down. We'll all watch it together. There's nobody knows who's going to go where. I mean, teams are making deals now. These whatever. I've heard everything. Will Anderson, the edge rusher from Alabama, they say he might go number 2 to the Texans. Texans have a long history of going defense in the draft. I'm going to sit back and watch. Just know that this year is going to be an exciting draft because there's just so much out there. Nobody knows who's going to do what. There's always going to be a big trade or two involved. And we got a couple guys who, for whatever reasons, people want to try to get rid of. I'm going to start with the Commanders. And then let me talk about this one. Bryce Young. I'm sorry.
You got him on your mind.
I got Bryce Young on my mind.
Got him on the mind, Steve.
Our Young. The young for the Commanders. They've been trying to trade this guy all off season. Talking about the only thing, once again, this goes to the injury thing again. He was a rookie of the year, started off his second year strong, blew out his knee, missed the rest of that season, missed almost the entire of his third season, and now it's time for the option. The Commanders are like saying, we haven't seen enough of you yet. We need to get you back in the field. They're not going to exercise the option. So everybody's
defensive end?
Yeah. Chase Young.
Okay.
Everybody now wants to trade him.
We'll take him.
Why would the Commanders trade him?
We'll take him.
You got him on a 1-year deal, a show me 1-year deal. He going to go out. If he plays like an all-pro player, he going to get paid well. If he doesn't come out all-pro player, you let him go.
We'll take him from you.
All right. Well, I know you will. There's about 20 teams that'll take him. But he's one that's out there. People saying that he might be traded tomorrow. And then the other one is also a big surprise, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, with this draft going on, it's going to be a lot of willing and dealing. a lot of behind the scenes. Look, you can have this player. Let's give us these picks because in this draft is a high value draft.
Yes, it is. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to look into it and see. Like I said, I mean,
I can't wait to get the popcorn and watch.
Can't wait myself. I mean, it's going to be exciting. We're going to have a lot to go over next week. I mean, should I throw some names out there and see what people want to say?
Go ahead, because it's time for us to get out of here.
All right, so a couple of names. Jalen Carter, you know, he had a controversy in the offseason with that situation in Georgia. He would have been a top 3 pick. And he may still be a top 3 pick, but there's, like I said, big question marks as to his character based on what happened with that crash that killed 2 people.
Ouch.
So that's a bad one. I also mentioned Will Anderson. There's always those couple guys who are like, who? There's a tight end, a tackle from Northwestern, Peter Skrojewicz. He might be a top 5 pick. There's a cornerback from Illinois, Witherspoon.
Who's going number 2, Steve?
Oh, I told you already. It's going to probably be the defensive guy, Will Anderson, because the Texans like to go defense.
Okay, so first pick, either Stroud or Young.
Right.
Second pick, a defensive player.
Correct.
Third pick,
it's going to be that Will Levis. Well, actually,
Will Levis?
Yeah. They like this guy. You know how it goes. When people love, they're saying he's either going to go
How
third.
Did he even get on the radar right now?
Because, once again, the so-called S2 test that everybody loves, this intellect test, and he scored high on the test. So,
I looked up. Stroud said he didn't take the S2 test.
But apparently, if he didn't take it, then
that's probably why they mad at him.
He has a lawsuit. Then, yeah, if he didn't take it, then there's a lawsuit because they're using that as a reason for why his stock is falling. So somebody needs to get sued. But apparently this Levis is going to go no later than 4. I think the Colts got the 4th pick, and I think they've already locked him in. So,
and the quote that you said, Stroud said, "I am a football player. I am not an S2 taker."
There you go. Well, there you go.
That's the quote.
All right.
That means to me that he didn't take it.
Well, if he didn't take it, then he needs to come out there and make it clear. And
so you think Levis is going number 3?
Yeah, they like. Yeah, it's always that year where they got that guy who everybody just wants to just jump all over and
say what?
It's always a case. Remember a couple years ago it was Mr. Trubisky. And he was another one.
So if we take Stroud, you think they're going to miss out on Bryce Young and take Levis?
Yeah, I think Stroud. Unfortunately, I think his stock is falling that far, but we'll see.
Well, I said if we take Stroud, because I believe we're taking Stroud. Yeah. I believe they've already put, like I said, for the 4th time, they put their chips out there and they let it be known they're taking Stroud.
Right.
If Bryce Young is on the board, they're going to take Levis over Bryce Young.
Correct. And I think Stroud would fall all the way down to either Tennessee or those other teams.
Ooh, that would put a big chip on that young man's shoulder.
Yeah.
Because that's not right. Somebody did that man dirty before the draft.
But that's
right before the draft at that, people.
Right before the draft.
Look at what's going on.
Without a chance for him to redeem himself. So, I mean, it's dirty politics and you know.
Thank you for tuning in. Yes. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll be back here next Wednesday at 7 with that draft update, and we're gonna go through the top 10 picks and see how each team did with their picks, and whatever picks stand out to us, we're gonna go in random, and we're gonna turn the phone lines on early next week so you can call in. Sorry for turning them on late this week, but next week they'll be on earlier. And we'll have that NBA update also.
Yes, we will.
And
don't forget the XFL playoff update.
Oh yeah, XFL.
I think I'm the only person who gets excited about XFL playoffs, but
I'll
be watching.
I'm still trying. And I know you guys will too. See y'all next week.
Peace. Good show.